What's up, you guys? Welcome back to this week's Manga Sutra Manga review, and in this week's video we're going to be talking about a slice of life psychological mature manga called Bakemono Recchan. Now, Bakemono Recchan follows the life of a schoolgirl named Anto. Now, what separates Anto from the rest of her classmates is that she has a monstrous appearance. Now, we're not talking about the frog-like face that Kasane has in her manga. We're talking about a face that looks like it's a mix between a leech and the predator. Now, what's interesting is that at the beginning of the manga, it doesn't seem like Anto-san is bullied for her facial appearance, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like the other classmates are going out of their way to socialize with her either. Now, it's only after she leaps from a 2 to 3 story building to retrieve a notebook for a classmate that she starts receiving a huge burst in popularity. She's being lavished with praise for her physical abilities, complimented on her cuteness and her personality. She even has people supporting her against bullying and so on and so forth. And we're supposed to be happy about this, right? Well, we're happy that the girl that seems to be the outcast is now suddenly the popular girl. But, you know, as the manga progresses, we start to see that a lot of the attention that Anto-san had received, now she's being called Recchan by her classmates, but a lot of the attention that she received is very superficial in nature, and that a lot of expectations are being heaped upon Anto-san, and this is all by her class. A lot of these expectations are being pressed on her, such as a race that's up and coming. They're looking at Anto-san and her physical abilities, believing that she can win it for them no problem. And we see as the chapter progresses that this is a lot of pressure being put on Anto-san. And sure, she may be enjoying the praise and the attention and popularity, but it is having a toxic effect on her as a person. Now, there's another character in the manga that has significance, and it is this girl that a lot of the other classmates think are salty or jealous of Anto's popularity. And I even admit, as a reader, I thought she was kind of salty and jealous of Anto's popularity in the beginning. And we kind of think of her not as like an outright villain or anything, but just kind of, you know, a mean girl. But the fact of the matter is, as the manga progresses, we see that this girl is not as bad as we were led to believe from her initial appearance and from her initial behavior, and that she actually has legitimate points and legitimate criticism against her classmates and how they act towards Anto-san. And I'm not going to spoil anything that happens later on throughout the manga, or to the middle of the manga, or the end. But around the end, we start to see what types of effects that Anto-san's classmates had on her, and that, you know, just because people lavish you with praise or attention, or, you know, act like they're your friend, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are your friend. And I think a lot of us can relate to this in a real life sense, because we'd rather be told that we're not liked than, you know, someone acting like they like us, acting like they care about us, acting like we're their friends, or so on and so forth, and then finding out later on the line that they never really cared in the first place. And that's what we see in Recchan. We see that all this attention, all this popularity that Anto-san received, it was initially, you know, we thought to be good. But the fact of the matter is, they didn't really care about Recchan. They cared about what Recchan could do for them as a class. And once she failed to live up to their standard, then she kind of just didn't exist in their eyes anymore. And I think that happens to a lot of us in real life. We have friends or acquaintances that we make, and, you know, things are all great in the beginning, or, you know, whenever they need something, they hit us up and they, you know, heap praise and attention on us and all of that, and we eat it up. And then we find out later on, that they never really cared. or we find out when we don't give them what they want that they really did not care in the first place, that they only really wanted us for what we had, or what we could do, or what we offered, and not really us as a person. You know, people like to be there when it's sunshine and rainbows, but they don't like to try to check up on you when it's thundering or when it's a storm. People like to see you really when you're happy or when you're all together, but when you're down, when you're going through struggles or hardships, nobody really wants to be around for that. And that's what the girl was making a point of to her classmates. You can't just treat Anto-san like she's this freaking goddess, and then when she doesn't live up to your expectations, you don't really give a shit. That's just not how life works. But I would definitely recommend reading Bakemono Recchan. There's a lot of life lessons to be learned in it. As far as the length of it, it is not a long series. It is a one-shot, in my opinion. It's just one chapter. I don't know if any other chapters are coming out for it, but it seems like a one-shot. The story seems to have concluded in this one chapter. And I really like it. I really like it. It progresses at a very reasonable pace. And it is by Asano Inio. It is illustrated and authored by Asano Inio. And I don't talk about him on this channel because Asano Inio is like the dark side of slice of life, you know? I keep talking about like Fujiyama or Neko no Otera, and you know how happy and upbeat and lively it is as a slice of life. But Asano Inio is like the reverse of that. His manga is the reverse of that, such as Reiraku and Downfall. Asano Inio in his mangas, at least in those, and Bakemono Recchan, he doesn't try to portray you this happy ever after or this sunshine and rainbows like slice of life plot. No, he tries to portray this harshly realistic scenario with his characters and with his settings, and it's heavily relatable. And I read some of his works. I read Reiraku. I read a couple of chapters of Downfall. And me, I don't think it's something you would like to read if you're depressed, because Asano Inio's works can cause an existential crisis within you if you're not in the right headspace for it yet. But at the same time, I didn't like his works when I was younger, but now that I am out of, you know, a depressed headspace, and I'm, you know, exploring different types of genres of manga and so on and so forth, I like what Asano Inio brings to the table. And I like the fact that with Asano Inio's works, it's not some sugar-coated version of reality. It axes a lot of questions, and it brings up a lot of points that we face in day-to-day life. It doesn't try to portray, you know, this young love, or, you know, love conquers all, or, you know, happiness and smiles. It portrays some of the raw emotions and struggles and hardships that we face in day-to-day life, and sometimes the insecurity and questions that we have towards ourselves and towards where we're going in the future and where we're at right now, and, you know, our own goals and ambitions and how we've fallen from those goals and ambitions. And I like Asano Inio's works and his art style, not only for Bakemono Recchan, but for Reiraku and Downfall and all his other works, is amazing, because it mixes a level of cartoonism with heavy detail. And we see this in Bakemono Recchan. The characters facially are very cartoonistic, but the amount of detail put into their facial features, the amount of detail put into the surroundings is amazing. And I would definitely recommend reading Bakemono Recchan, and I would definitely recommend looking into Asano Inio. This is VM. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye.